Shouldn't you salute when you're done talking to me, Joker? No? Alright, fine. Can I talk to any of you? No? Nope. None of you gonna give me XP? Man, why do we even have you on the ship if you're not gonna give me XP? Alright, Presley, are you gonna give me XP? Up. Navigator Presley? No? Hello? You just don't want to talk to me at all. Well, alright. Alright, let's see if we go away and come back. No, he just does not want to talk to me at all. Well, fine. Be that way, jerk. See if I have you on my ship ever again. Anyone down here? Hello? No? Alright. Hey there, Kaiden. Wow, it must be hot down there. Look at her skin glow.
Anything you need, Commander?
Look at that! She's covered in sweat!
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Alright, you got a tactical appraisal while I sit here sweating profusely?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Alright.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
I'll let you roast there. Sleeper pod? Ooh. Got some XPs. Do these things ever get used? Doesn't look like there's anyone in them. Nope, can't do anything there. Alright. Do I need to replenish Metagel? Can I only do that once? Well, I guess I've only done it once. Oh well. Hello, Doctor.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I just want to talk to you. I think we've talked about that already.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Any other XPs back here? Nope. Seriously, Kaiden, how do you deal with that heat over there? Jeez. Personnel manual. Ah, yes. More XPs. Love my experience points. They are the best. Alright, well, I guess we gotta use the elevator now. Let's go down here. Hello, Engineer Adams. How's it going?
Commander, you know that Quarian Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
Is she bothering you?
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do.
Sweet!
She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
So, you'll be out of a job soon then. She's useful.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Nope. Tell me about the stealth system.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions.
Ooh, carbon capture technology.
Trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually, the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running, and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
Oh, that sounds pleasant.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
So what about FTL gives us away?
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Why do we have the only one? Tell me about the ship itself.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
Alright, tell me about the
What's
drive
so
core.
special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Okay. Tell me about yourself.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo. Only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Okay.
Carry on, Adams.
I think that's enough with you. Yes! Oh, Engineer Adams, maybe I will keep you around. You gave me XPs. Nope, you don't have anything to say? You two don't have anything to say? Alright, Tolly, let's talk to you. We haven't had a good talk yet.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard.
Oh, I know.
I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small.
That's called selective compression.
I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
Well, this ship is pretty special.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
You're into ships. So, maybe it's because I haven't read through the, codex yet, but I'm assuming that basically every single ship technology used in the galaxy at this point is purely 100% based on the discovered technologies that we have, which is why humanity, a newcomer to space, can have basically the exact same technology level as the people who've been in space for thousands of years. It's still kind of silly, because you would think some people would make some advances like we have with this ship, but it seems like the intent is that no one else has. That's pretty stagnant. Normandy now features VW's interior space warping tech. They're a bit better about the emissions, though, apparently. Yep.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
That was 300 years ago.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Well, tell me about this pilgrimage. I'd like to learn more.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet.
What if you
This
can't
is
return?
presented as
What
a
if you
gift
die?
to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Do they always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society.
Crew size is the
Even when
Quarian
a gift is not
E-beam.
particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
That does sound pretty dangerous.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey.
So they waste resources on you.
We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Tell me about your race.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla.
That's not very
and
many.
Each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Now, 17 million people. I want to check this. I think that might be smaller than the metro area that I live in. Okay, no, it's not. It's 9.5 million in my metro area. It's a lot smaller than the New York metro area. I know that. Let me see what that contains. That is, yeah. So the New York metro area is 23 million people. That is a really, really tiny population. I mean, this is unless their planet was very, lightly populated to begin with, that's pretty crazy, especially after 300 years.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one
That's
child.
not a way to grow your population.
If it grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point.
That's negative population
Of course,
growth.
we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births.
That has to be like all the
Although
time.
The Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
Literally, you've got two people. You need to replace them with two people. And then you need to assume that some of those people are going to die before they have kids or decide not to have kids, meaning that you need something like 2.1, 2.2 population. Yeah, it would always be in decline. One child would always be in decline.
That's your government.
The Conclave
I don't
is
think
our
they thought this
civilian
through.
government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
That's only semi-democratic.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, The
Good with
Conclave
tech,
and the
not math.
respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly
if they choose
3
not to resign?
centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Seems like you guys are putting a lot of faith into democratic norms. You might want to take a page from human history and code some of those in actual laws. Tell me about the Geth.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Oh, do tell.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Well, AI research is illegal now, was it then?
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. 1 million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So it's like a hive mind.
So there's some sort of group consciousness.
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input.
Well, they could have
Each
updated
Geth
by now.
maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
I don't get it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
So, I do find it interesting that, again, this might be in the Codex, I haven't read through it all, and no one I've watched has done everything that's in the Codex. So, AI research was already outlawed by the Council. Well, why was it already outlawed? Did someone else already create a Geth-like race and then it went badly and they managed to destroy it, unlike the Quarians? Since the Reapers are, as far as we know it right now at least, sentient machines, it's not like it's a memory of that, since they wiped out the Protheans and civilization as the galaxy knew it then.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
Or was it just
The Geth were created to
people
engage
assumed that
in
AIs
mundane,
would
repetitive, or
go after
dangerous
organics?
manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first.
Yeah, bad
A
idea.
general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
What did you expect? Kinda want to go with that. I don't want to piss her off, though. But yeah, they defended themselves. I mean, this is the thing, is like... if you've suddenly created an artificial intelligence and are realizing that they're gaining sentience, and that would mean that you're enslaving them, then you should basically say to them, what do you want to do? In my opinion. It's not like I've ever encountered this situation before, though.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice.
Yeah, you did.
The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines.
AI lives
incapable
matter.
of organized
Exactly.
Resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld.
And apparently all your other
We
colonies?
feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the veil. Now we drift through space, exiled, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Apparently I can say they defended themselves again.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them.
Nah, you kinda did.
If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Well, not everyone.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
Sierra Mike says they didn't have any other colonies. I thought she said they did. Maybe that was just Quarian-controlled space. Alright, well that's about it.
I should go.
I'm sure some of these will be... Ooh, 60 XP. Thank you, Tali. Thank you for your XP. I mean, I'm sure a lot of that's going to be in the Codex. I will take a look at that in a bit. Hello?
Looking for supplies?
Maybe. Do you have a name? Yes, my name is Alliance Requisition Officer. That's your name? Yes, it is. New items?
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased.
Okay.
And anytime we
I
land
think I've done that
check
already.
back often. I need to move items quickly, so only
Let's
the
see
most
what you
basic-
got.
You bet, Commander.
Okay. Lots of stuff that I cannot afford. Let's go talk to Garrus. Hello.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander.
You're welcome.
I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
You knew?
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
It's not that bad.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
They want it done their way because the rules are there to protect. Well, not necessarily, but they should be there to protect both themselves and citizens.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that.
I'll do tell.
It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
Forget about it.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
Well, that's good.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Yeah, but I don't know.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast.
Exactly.
Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
Oh, I can inspect the Mako. Yes, the Mako gave me XP. Can we talk again, Garrus?
Commander, good to see you.
Okay, apparently not. Hey, Ashley.
Commander,
How you doing?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
That we'd saved your unit.
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
Might have actually done this already. Don't blame
We have
yourself.
the perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Okay.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Hello, Rex.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard.
Be a shame if something
What
happened
can
to
I
it.
do for you?
Let's talk to you.
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story.
There's always a story.
Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Don't be an ass. Ah, come on.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race.
Oh yeah, it does sound fun.
Fun.
Big deal.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
Of course it is. Sure it is. It isn't? The illusion of choice.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
No, it's really not.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation?
Yes. Actually, yes.
An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth?
Yeah.
And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
So what?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Sounds like this is a touchy subject for you, huh?
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me.
I don't know, it sounds like it does.
As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Well, tell me a little bit more about the
What
genophage.
can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it.
Oh, maybe I will one day.
I know. It makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why not?
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Well, I haven't been to the Krogan homeworld.
You ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time.
Maybe you need
It's
to,
just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
My problem with that is that it feels very one-dimensional. The idea that pretty much the entire race would rather fight than think, process, do scientific work seems very one-dimensional.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And And most of us never go back.
I see.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Alright, well. Got some more XP from him at least.